Chapter 4 The Forest. There, I can see it, Julia pointed out. They had just crossed a hill, which revealed a huge forest in the distance. They kept on walking until they were right at the entrance of the forest. There we go, Haru said. Quietly and carefully they walked past the trees, through the moss and leaves and underneath the covered sky. It was quiet for quite some time until the silence was interrupted by several figures. What's happening? I can't see anything, Drake yelled. Drake, Harold called out. Wait, a new voice came in between. Stop, let them go. I think it's him. Who? Drake, the chosen one. The figures released Drake, Harold, and Julia and undid their blindfolds, which they somehow had managed to put on in mere seconds. When the three could see again, they noticed the figures were actually the dwarves Calypso was talking about. Sorry, one of them said. We thought you were followers of Mordor for a second. A bit young, don't you think? Haru said, annoyed. You'd be surprised. But Drake? The dwarf looked at Haru, so Haru pointed towards the actual Drake. Oh, Drake. After all these years you finally came. Good, good. My name's Chop, and these are Duzel, Laurent, Lenny, and John. We'll assist you in the war against Mordor, if you don't mind, of course. Please, yes, Drake said. That went easy, Haru whispered into Drake's ear. I'm assuming the elves are about ready to welcome you and aid you on your quest just as much, Chop said. All right, great, let's go, Drake proposed. On the way to the village, they saw all kinds of different creatures. Peaceful animals, beautiful birds, deers, and all kinds of mythical creatures, among even a few leprechauns. The forest was narrow, filled with gigantic trees, huge plants, and colorful flowers. What other creatures live around here? Julia asked. Not many dangerous ones, Duzel answered. Boars, but those are all right, not too dangerous. Oh, and we have the king of the forest. The king of the forest? Haru asked. The protector of the woods, the overseer of all flora and fauna. Will we ever get to meet this king? I highly doubt it, Chop said. It doesn't really show itself to others. These times it only appears before the animals in the forest. Some claim to have seen him, some say it's just a legend. And there it is, Chop said after a long walk. They reached an open area surrounded by the tallest trees of the forest, taller than Drake had ever seen. In the distance, they could see wooden houses, of which some were carved in the giant trees, or built around it. Wooden staircases circled around the trees, and wooden rope bridges were dangling meters up in the air. Welcome to Persos, Chop spoke. Here, most elves and dwarves live a peaceful life. The elves prefer to live up high, while us dwarves remain low within our houses carved into the trees. Do you have horses? Julia asked the moment she noticed the stables. Who? Sorry? What's that? Oh, never mind. Just a kind of animal. I have no idea what you mean, but the stables you're looking at are not empty or anything. Shall we take a look? Sure, Julia answered. Dwarves, head for the elves and let them know of the good news. I'll take these younglings to the stables. You got it, Chop, Duzel answered. As the four dwarves made their way to the elves, Chop and the others started walking towards the stables. I had a feeling, Drake said the moment he laid eyes on an extraordinary creature. Pegasus. Exactly, Chop said. The stables were inhabited by all kinds of winged horses, Pegasi. They were colored white, brown, grey, and black. Wow, Haru said, amazed. I want one, Julia yelled. Oh, how enthusiastic, Chop said. But first we need to see if one of them will get along with you well enough. Chop grabbed the fence and moved it aside. He went in and came out later with one of the Pegasi. One needs to grow fond of you first. By petting him? Julia asked. And no, feeding it will do. Be right back. Chop walked away and headed for one of the trees. He opened a door in the tree, entered, and a short while after he exited again. He was carrying an unusual looking herb that Drake, Haru, and Julia had never seen before. It was glistering. Look, these are herbs that as far as we know only grow in this forest. They are a powerful magical energy source for the animals and their mounts. The herbs give them more stamina and are a big food source for any animals in the forest. Once Mordor manages to overthrow this forest, the animals will have to leave, if not eradicated. They'll lose their food sources, their homes. They'll have to find a new home somewhere beyond the outskirts of Dragonia, but who knows how far they'll come. It was quiet for a second. So that's why we should make a move now. How far does Dragonia reach? What's beyond? Drake asked. All we know the existence of we call Rosium. Dragonia is just a small part of it. Rosium goes on for a while, kiddo. I see. Here, give it to her. Julia was handed the herbs. She carefully gave it to Pegasus. Soon enough, she ate it off her hands. There you go. When Pegasus was done eating, she bent her neck and face downwards. What is she doing? Julia asked. She's inviting you for a ride on her back. Here, let me help you. Chop was small but strong enough to lift Julia high enough so she could climb onto Pegasus. Oh, already? Julia said, startled. Yeah, she likes you. As soon as Julia mounted Pegasus, the creature started flapping with her wings and rose up into the sky. Julia shouted from the rush and the excitement as she was launched with great speed. She disappeared out of sight past the treetops. Julia was gifted with the most wonderful view. Totally flabbergasted, she looked around her, down at the ground and into the distance. Her smile disappeared slightly when she noticed something out of place. What is that? She asked herself. Julia was looking at a dark castle in the distance. It was kilometers away from where they were now, but an unmissable construction and something that didn't fit the looks of Dragonia. Julia noticed something else uncanny. What is... Oh no. Meanwhile in Persil's. Haru, you'll need a mount as well, Chop said. Follow me. They took a few more steps towards the back part of the stables. A hippogriff, Drake said excitedly as he laid eyes on a new creature. A hippogriff, part eagle, part horse, was stationed in one of the last parts of the stables. Let me guess. I have to feed him? No, her, Haru said. Nope, you can just pet him, Chop answered. Of course. But be careful, they can be a little aggressive. Great, Haru said sarcastically. Haru raised his arm. Good, good, he's starting to like you. That's a first. Haru was able to pet the head of the hippogriff easily. The creatures they took care of in Perseus were easy to befriend. Can I ride him now? It's not as easy as with Pegasus. Hippogriffs are not too fond of giving others a ride. It's usually in the heat of the moment that they do, when they have fully accepted you as their friend. Alright then. Does this mean I'm next? Drake asked. Let me see. Could you... Actually, I might know something fit for you. Though, keep in mind this creature is very hard to befriend, and we do have to head somewhere else for this first. So, if you'd like, you could choose a different Pegasus. Well, you said you knew something fit for me. Why not try? How hard may it be? Plus, let Julia have her glory. Pegasus fits her immensely well. Speaking of Julia, Haru said. Coincidentally, Julia came descending from the sky at that exact moment. Guys, guys, Julia yelled as she landed. Bad news. You were at war, right? Yeah, why? Chop said. Well, a bunch of creepy-looking monsters and such are on their way here. Oh no, not now. We have to ready ourselves. Doozle approached. Hey, Chop. Doozle, perfect timing. We are about to be attacked. Come on, everyone, to get ready. You got it. Doozle reached for a horn he had stored somewhere underneath his clothes. He blew the horn and a loud noise came out. The citizens exited their houses, recalling the routine once the horn was blown. All elves and wolves prepared for the upcoming fight. You three, follow me, Chop said. Let's see, you. Chop pointed at the children and afterwards at one of the elves. This is Eros, our best bowman. He'll be joining us as well. Oh, Lawrence, Lenny, John, come. Doozle, we're leaving. The rest stays here unless defeat is imminent. They cannot know Drake arrived. Job now spoke towards all the citizens. Defend Perseus. If Perseus falls, the palace is next. With that, all of Dragonia and all of Rosia might suffer the same fate. The dwarves, the elf, and Drake, Harrow, and Julia left Perseus. They brought along the hippogriff and Pegasus and left the fight to everyone else. A difficult thing to do, but at that time the best move. Perseus was in grave danger because of the surprise attack of Mordor's monsters and followers.